welcome to Paint with Heart Studios. I'm Cindy Harrison, your artist of residence. I keep flubbing up that line, but anyways, I'm a decorative painter. I've been painting for over almost 25 years now. And I just love being here and sharing with you all my talents. If there's anything I can do to help you on your painting journey, definitely drop me a line either at cindyharrisonart.com or at Paint with Heart on Facebook. Today, I'd like to introduce to you once again, my fabulous co-host, Melissa Reyes.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. We're almost there. This is so exciting to be here on Paint with Heart, our 29th episode, and the last one in the series for our ornaments. And again, my name is Melissa Reyes. I go by Ms. Meliz on social media, and I'm just really thrilled to be here with Cindy Harrison, who is her ears are probably burning because I spoke about her all day yesterday about what a great art teacher she is and what a great friend she is. So I just want to thank her and thank you for having me here on Paint with Heart.
So I'm going to get started. I'm going to start by finishing our preparation of our bonus ornament for those of you who are here. Here's my ornament, and I'm going to up close and personal if I can. And I put multi-purpose sealer on the wood as well as on my fabric. So this is stiffer than usual. Now I'm going to take that multi-purpose sealer and I'm going to put it on here and on the back of this, and then rub it down and roll this across to get out any bubbles. Now, if you don't want fabric on this little ornament topper, what you can do is just put the fabric right below it and just adhere that there. And use an old scruffy brush that's seen its better days. And I'm going to put this on here. Make sure you get those edges. It's very important that you get those edges.
Cindy,
yes.
We have a question for you. What if you didn't treat the material? Can you just glue it on at this point? What would happen?
Well, it doesn't have its material is porous. Okay, so any paint you'll put on it, it'll act like an unfinished wood, and the paint it'll suck up the paint and stain it.
I see.
And this is kind of like a sealer. It also helps because it makes it firm enough so that when you're done this process and this dries, you can go around with an X-Acto knife and you can trim off the fabric. If it's raw fabric, then it starts fraying. The edges will fray, and it's not a pretty finished piece when you're done.
That makes so much sense.
So then you kind of go around and you gently try to peel back. Now see how I barely touched that and it peels back? So that's when you know that you have to go back and you have to add more sealer to that area. But if you move it a little bit and it doesn't lift off, then you're good. You can press down, you can press over here, whatever it takes to get those edges down. Then when that's done, you set that aside to dry. Now we'll pick up our spoon.
I've been looking forward to spooning with Sienna for a long time. This is exciting.
It's like, are you being funny?
No, I've really been looking forward to it.
Okay, everyone's spoon can, you know, all the spoons are different. So you have to kind of make adjustments, because this spoon is your typical shape, but look at this one. This one's big and round. So you'll have to make adjustments depending on what kind of spoon you have. Now it's very hard. See what happens, right? That makes life difficult, doesn't it? Best trick, put some slits into the design. I do it about 4 areas. So you see how I cut it into 4s? And then when I put it in, they can overlap a little bit. So I get a better position. See that? Now I'm going to take and try and stick my graphite in there. And because the graphite wasn't scored like that piece of paper, it makes it hard to.
Cindy, you're too close up on your...
I know. I'm just trying to finagle it so then I'll put it in the right place.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go in, and sometimes you can just freehand that, but put in where you're going to have the hat brim. And then also put in the lines where the hair is. And if you want to put in where the mouth is, which I can't reach, but. So sometimes you can, it's just as easy to draw it in, I don't know, by yourself. See, I kind of get some of that glare out. So right now, that's the only lines I'm going to put on there. The hat brim and the face. Let's take out some flesh tone. The old school name is flesh tone. The new name is called warm beige. So I'm going to take a filbert brush. That's one that's rounded at the tip. It's not flat. It's flat this way, but it's rounded that way. See the difference? So I'm going to paint his face. Make sure the paint is shaken well. Mine, and you don't have any water. I have a lot of moisture in my brush. So I'm going to have to do this a couple times to get it to be good color, solid color. That's also why we paint them white, because see if you can tell. See how it's see-through? Because if you had just the silver behind it and you put that on there, it would show up silver, not flesh tone. So let's blow dry that. And do another coat. I'm going to go ahead and put some Santa red on the hat, because I'll let that dry completely, the flesh tone, and then I'll go back and put another coat.
Can you tell us what you're doing now?
I am making sure that the layers are dry and then putting on more paint.
Mm. You've got his hat and beard and flesh tone face.
His hat was 2 coats of Santa Red. His face was probably, in my case, 3 coats of flesh tone. And I needed to make sure that that was dry in between coats. If you want to mix some Snow White with some Lamp Black, hello, Snow White and Lamp Black, and make a gray value, we can do his hair and beard. Not so much black. Definitely we're going to use less black than that's here, but do a medium gray. Whoops, too much black. I am better, but still fighting this darn cough.
I was just going to ask you, how are you feeling?
Yeah, no, I am better. I'm just fighting this cough. It's just the residual.
Yeah, that lingering cough.
Yeah, it's like a tickle.
Yeah.
Tickle.
I still feel like you need more rest.
No rest for the wicked. So I'm going to just put that in there. I'm already working on ideas for next year's ornament collection. So I am so excited. I haven't even shared it with Melissa yet. But it's going to be awesome.
You didn't hear me react. I went,
I saw you.
Good. I'm typing. I'm chatting with the new people. I see now you've added the gray to make kind of a gray beard.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I'm only going to do 1 coat on that. So if it's a little see-through, that's fine. Because, I mean, you can see how it's a little see-through. But that'll be fine. We're not looking for perfection.
Awesome. I like it when she says that. So oh, here's the chat.
So
unnamed person is me, LOL, Kathy. Okay. So
hi.
Do we have 2 Kathys today, or are you on 2?
Same Kathy. I don't know.
I don't know. Kathy Barnett and then the second Kathy. Well, welcome.
Okay, so if you put your eyeballs in there, you see where they are. Okay. I'm going to stick try to stick that itty bitty piece of graphite under there to let me know where my eyeballs are. The only problem with working with concave and put your nose in, and then you can put your beginning of your mustache and that little end of the mustache. I know, and it's not always perfect, but if you do enough of them, it'll come natural to you.
Can you hold that closer so I could? Did you already put them in? I can't. Can see it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's crooked.
Yeah, but
it'll work. It'll work. So what we're gonna do is take our.
It's interesting, Cindy, how the perspective is on my view right now. I can't tell if you're on the inside of the spoon or the back of the spoon.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So remember, these are just guidelines. And if they don't line up where you want them, erase them. And then what we're gonna do is go in, and I'm making happy eyes, and I call happy eyes the ones that are rounded on the top and then kind of go straight across the bottom. So kind of line that up, go straight across the bottom and round them off at the top. And most of us, I don't know, I can't say all of us, but most of us have one eye bigger than the other. Don't go crazy over this. It's just a little different. Obviously, if it's totally different, you can understand you wanting to go a little crazy about it. I don't know, can you see that?
No, yes.
Now you know where the eyes are. You can go in with that black-white mix, that gray mix, and you can tuft in some bushy eyebrows. And if you don't want them that bushy, then don't make them that bushy. You can make them less bushy. So I'm going to, always one side comes out better than the other. It's just the way it is. Can't help it. When that white is dry, you might want to put a second coat. You know what?
What?
I didn't pick a color for his eyes. The Santa, what color eyes does Santa have?
He has red and green eyes.
You're funny.
Brown.
Are they brown? Are they blue? I don't know. We might end up having green eyes.
They're black. Aren't they black? Dark. I don't care. I guess whatever you want. Is he Nordic? Then he should be blue.
Is he Nordic?
Um,
I'm going to do a little, go to the edge of the white, and you can do yours on the left. You can do it on the right. I don't care. If you're going to make them have colored eyes, I would put the color around the outside of this black area.
wow. It's still, he already has so much personality just with the little eyes. Isn't it interesting how eyes make a personality? I have a couple comments for you here in the side. Kathy Van Roy says that she read somewhere to work on the side that is hardest to paint, and then the other side's going to be easier to paint, like a charm.
Yes.
It's a good tip. So,
very good tip.
And then I wanted to tell you that it's going to be hard for me when I make mine to make it an ornament. I'm going to want to wear it as a pendant.
Yes, and you can do that.
That looks adorable already.
It is. Yes, you can do that. I'm just gonna. So when we're done this today, I'm gonna go decorate gingerbread houses. Root, huh?
Oh, that's pretty cool. I saw on Facebook, and I think I shared it, a video on many gingerbread houses. They're so small that when they're finished, they put them on the edge of the mug.
Oh yes, aren't those adorable?
Yes. So I want to make those for Christmas.
Yes, you did share them. I saw those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a flat brush and some Santa red, and it's a side load, but I want it to be very small side load, so I'm going to stay to the outside of the puddle. Can you see that? No. Okay, let me move over. Stay to the outside of the puddle and not walk it into that walk it into that paint puddle too much because I want it very narrow.
Just a tiny bit of red on the corner.
But very light, a little bit of red on the corner, but very little, very light. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some right under his eye here. And if that's too much, just touch it with your finger or wipe it off and keep blending it on your palette until you get a lighter value. Almost like a football player. And then do a little bit right inside his nose. I'm also going to take a little bit, if the nose is dry, and go right underneath the nose, and that's going to be his bottom lip.
You see my lip?
Yes, I see your lip. Let's go back with our fine liner brush and some of that white, and we can place a dot in his eye. And I'm going to take that fine liner and some of the black with a little bit of water in my brush to make it inky. And I'm going to outline his eye.
Oh gosh, that's cute.
With the same liner brush and some white, and not any water, but some white paint, do dot 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 over his eyebrows.
His eyebrows, cool.
Yeah, my daughter, when she was little, she used to call them ear brows. So I mean,
ear brows.
we kind of still do that. So I stopped and I'm like, it's not an ear brow.
Cute.
Yeah, she had this thing where she came in one day and she says to her Nana, Nana, I need a headbang for my ear brow. And we're like, a what? A headbang for my ear brow. A what? She wanted a Band-Aid for her eyebrow.
It's so cute to remember those little phrases. Now they're all grown up and
Yeah, that was 34 years, well, 30 years ago.
Jeez. That's so cute.
So yeah, if you wanted color on his eye, I would do it between the black and the white. I would just put a little bit of color between the black and the white if you wanted to go that route. Now, does your Santa have eyelashes? If your Santa has eyelashes, you can pull them off. And we can do a little dot on the inside. But it almost starts to look like one of those retro Santas, huh?
Yeah, it does. It looks almost like a, I don't know, early 60s style. The big eyes.
Big eyes.
Big eyes.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that Milena says that she's checking in and observing today because she's going to be in and out. But she wanted you to know that she's here.
Well, thank you, Melina, for joining us. Okay, I'm going to erase the lines because now that I know where my nose is and my mouth is and all that stuff, I don't need those lines there. So let's see. Next, what I'm going to do is put in the hair. And you can do that with your liner brush. And just take and draw. You can draw straight lines. You can draw curly lines. So you see how that works? However you want your hair to be, you can do all that. Go a little bit into his face. Then when you do the beard, I start straight down and just kind of, I like squiggle. I don't know. I'm a squiggly kind of person. We'll just squiggle some beard here. Little tuft under his chin. Make it full. Squiggle some hair down here. These ones, this is going to be easier ones than last week, I think. And because the white tends to be a see-through color, if you go back and you add more white, then the second level of white will be more pure. Makes sense?
Yes, it's going to be a little brighter and crisper.
Yeah.
And so you add some layers and depth there.
Awesome.
You know, I was at my Etsy Guild sales marketplace thing at the mall yesterday.
Yeah.
And I noticed the artists there don't do any of those little intricate touches that you do. I didn't notice any side loading. And I actually I'm getting to be a little art snob, because I was like, with just a little of instruction, they can improve their art so much.
And that's what happens. And I tell people that taking a class, even if you just take one class, at least it educates you on what you're buying when you go to a craft fair.
Yeah. What, to be selling a piece that's, $50 or $100, and it doesn't have any shading, it doesn't have any layering, it just colors, and it's cool. But I love that I know this stuff now, so I have to thank you.
So you're noticing the difference, right?
Yes.
I'm going to punch up to my number 4 round, and I'm going to go back with that gray mix. I'm going to create a gray mix, make sure there's no water. Do this gray mix, and now I'm going to do a mustache. So from right in the center of his nose and mouth area, I'm going to flatten my brush and pull it out. Flatten my brush and pull it out. See that? So I'm going to do it on the other side. Flatten my brush. And if I didn't get into that area here on the corner of his mouth, we can just tuck some gray in there. See? Now with that there, we can go in with our liner brush and pick up some of this white and then draw some detail. Now, right now, the mustache, other than the fact that you have the lines going in different directions, the actual mustache can kind of be lost in the hair and the beard. So we need to separate that. And the way we're going to do that is by that dreaded side load again. And you're going to side load that gray mix, maybe a little bit of black, but very light on the black. And you side load by putting that color underneath the hat brim. Very pale, very pale. So you put it underneath the hat brim here. And that might be too dark still, but add a little bit of white. If you have a gray bottle of paint in your repertoire, then you can use that. I try to keep the paint colors down just in case someone has to go buy paint. I hate for them to have to buy a whole bottle of paint when they only need a drop, you know. So I'm putting that in there. Then I'm going to put it underneath his mustache on his beard part. So the mustache starts showing up. You can also put it under his mouth. And then right where the top of his mustache is, we're going to put it there as well on his hair. If you want to tuck a little bit under his nose, you can do on both sides. So now that shows up, see? If you wanted to get real crazy and tuck a little bit underneath on the bottom of his eyebrows, but I wouldn't do too much. I also put on there burnt sienna as a color. For that, what I should have done first before I put on the eyebrows is shaded under his hat brim on his face. But we can do that now and then just wipe off the eyebrows. So that's going to be a small load, and that's going to go right on his face under his hat. And when you get that, go back in with a clean brush and just tap off his eyebrows. Easy peasy. Sometimes it's good that the teacher makes a mistake, or not really a mistake, but does something totally different wrong, because then you can go back and know how to correct it.
You make it look easy. You even make those corrections look easy. It shows how small it is too.
We're not done yet.
Quite small.
Now, remember that fancy dancy Deerfoot brush?
Yes.
I'm going to go and pick up some of that black and white gray mixture, and I'm going to pounce in the fur on his hat. Okay, so we pounce that in there. And again, kind of all matches, right? Wash off your brush, blow dry that. Now we're going to pick up some white. Just pick up some white, and I'm only picking it up on the toe. Can you see that I've got hair down here with no paint on it? So I'm just picking it up on the longest ones. And then I'm going to go in and separate the hair from the fur down there. And then I can turn around and do the same on the top. I'm not covering everything that I put on there. I'm just adding some highlights. If you want to add some more just in the middle. If you have snow text and you want it to be texturized or decorative paste, you can texturize it. But yeah, what do you think?
What do I think? It's gorgeous. He's adorable. He looks 3D.
I think it would make great gift tag kind of adornment, you know, on a package, on a gift bag or a box, you know, that you've wrapped. I think that would be cool.
With a ribbon.
And some people, they flatten the spoon out. I've seen that done where they flatten the spoon out. You can do the same thing on that.
So are you going to put anything else? Sparkles or something?
Oh, well, if you have to, if you really, 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 really want to,
a bit of snow.
You can add some
sparkles for his hat?
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I didn't wear my sparkly hat today, but I have my lights.
your lights sparkle.
Lights on. Okay, so did Cindy use gesso on the spoon before she started painting her spoon? Yes, she did put a base coat of paint adhesion medium. Is that what you did?
It's either paint adhesion medium or multi-purpose sealer. You put that on first, and then you cover it with, I think, 2 or 3 coats of white. But if you have white gesso or white Rust-Oleum or something like that, that would work fine too. So then we gotta wait for that glitter to dry. And then you'll have red glitter on your Santa hat.
Oh, cute.
With this, I added, because with the ribbon, there's an opening back here that the ribbon can slide through. So I just thought if there was a way of clipping that ribbon so it doesn't, you know, slide off or whatever, that's why I added this little clip, but.
You put a little clip hanging off the ribbon. That would be cute. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go back and check this. It might not be totally dry, but we can blow dry this a little bit.
Well, before you go on, of course, I'd love to see what everybody has done so far.
By all means, go for it.
You're all and then if everybody, let's see, I'm going to take everybody off mute. Sorry, I'm so slow today. Haven't had my coffee. So show me, hold it up if you have completed, and we'll see. Oh, look at that, Ophelia. That's so cute. And I'm gonna take some pictures. I love sharing these pictures. So does anybody else have a spoon? Oh, I have to unmute Ruth. I don't know how to do that. Whoops. There.
In my hat band.
Hi, Ruth.
I was just finishing my hat band.
Okay.
Wait.
You'll finish.
It's done. Well,
Okay.
it's you can look at it, but my spoon is bent. My spoon is concave instead of convex.
So Ruth made one and Ophelia made one.
Yeah, Ophelia's pretty. Ruth, hold it to the.
Yeah, hold it up
wait
to
a
the
minute.
camera. Okay, I'm gonna
To the
get.
left, to the left,
there.
to the left. There you go.
Okay, I'm
See
gonna
it?
get.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I like that.
Cute. Okay, so
See,
that,
mine was bent to the back.
That's
I want smiles next to it. So Ophelia,
Here.
make
Wait,
sure,
wait a minute. Let me get in there.
and Ruth, make sure you're smiling. Let's see your smile, Ophelia. Okay.
Done.
Awesome. And there's Cindy. She's smiling. Aw. All right. Those are really adorable ladies. Thank you.
They are adorable.
Okay.
How they all came out.
And there's Cindy, and they're going back. Okay. Ooh.
So yeah, so when it dries, it's kind of really fine glitter. If you want thicker glitter, they have twinkles and stuff like that. That would work. Okay, so I kind of dried that fast.
Okay.
Most of us have more than one hobby. So if you have sewing in your hobby repertoire, you have some kind of a mat that you can cut on, and that you don't cut into anything else, a cutting mat, whatever. I'm gonna put mine on a cutting mat that's for one of those circular cutters. Take my X-Acto knife, and I'm gonna cut the fabric off close to the edge of the piece of wood. Without cutting my hands, my fingers. I've done that before. Piece of cake. Yeah. So if it's not all the way to the edge and you need to trim it off a little bit, I love these tonic scissors. They cut just about anything. So you can go in and trim a little bit, but it really helps to use the X-Acto knife first. So now you have your ornament covered. So now you're going to take your pattern and place it on here, and you're probably going to end up using white graphite paper, and hopefully you can semi see it in there. I don't know, can you see it? Yeah.
We can see it.
Awesome.
That's another thing. It's going to look real 3D, huh?
Maybe.
I think so. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Woohoo, you're hoo-hooing again.
Yes, because I'm happy. Because I'm happy.
That's my happy song. Okay. Multi-purpose sailor, 2 coats of white. Yes.
Oh,
Now, did I tell you what color greens? I'm sure I did, but I didn't.
why don't you tell us again?
Well, I would if I knew what they were.
Oh, do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
That would be funny. So, let's see. Let's add this up here. Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not on. It's not on the Facebook thing.
So no, because it's our
Bonus.
exclusive ornament for
Fashion.
today.
Is it on the website?
I'm gonna go with leaf green, but whatever green I told you to go with, the lighter green, that's the green you want to go with. I'm gonna take my round brush, but I'm gonna flatten it and pick up some green, and I'm going to go ahead and put these in only 1 coat for right now. If the fabric wasn't sealed with that multi-purpose sealer, the paint would bleed into the fabric like a watercolor. And again, if your line drawing's misshapen and you want to fix it, by all means, go ahead and fix it. I have one I can show you that I did that is another artist's design. Her name's Kathy Wilson. I don't even know if she's still around. She may have died. I know her husband died of cancer years ago. But at any rate, so when Nancy Lee Lenski was a big draw, she used to do angels. She painted angels that she used the fabric for their dress. And I can actually show you. And she found this by mistake because, like I said, we are not just a one hobbyist. We like lots of hobbies, and she liked fabric quilting as well as painting. And she had some fabric on a bucket, basket on the floor next to her painting table, and accidentally one day spilt her sealer on
You're kidding.
on her fabric, and she was devastated, mortified. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then she realized, oh, it stiffened the fabric, so now I can paint on it.
Interesting.
So isn't that cool?
Yeah.
She's no longer designing, but it was really cool.
So that's so before that you hadn't heard of it.
Right.
Or thought about it.
Right.
Paint adhesion.
So
multi-purpose sealer. So I put the paint colors in here for you.
okay, good.
So it was leaf green, olive green, and midnight
Oh,
green.
good. I did leaf green. That's great.
Yeah.
This is if I can back this up.
The angel. Oh my goodness! Look at that. You painted that, Cindy?
So yeah. So this is all painted up here, all that, and then this design here is fabric. And then I painted the yoke over the fabric. I painted this over the fabric, her hands, all this design, the gold design, and the shadowing in the dress. But otherwise than that, all this paisley here, this is all the fabric. So isn't that cool?
That's just gorgeous, Cindy. I got a great picture too.
For me, okay. So she had many series of those, many in her series of those. Okay, so now that I know where that is, we can do one coat of that red on the berries. I'm just trying to get a general idea because I want to do a background. A background design. And I don't know what kind of gold you ladies have, but I have this thing, True Gold by Deco Art Traditions. There's also Jo Sonia has a rich gold that's really cool. So this is a creamier, thicker paint, as you see how it sits up on the palette versus the other ones are kind of flattened. So this is a creamier, thicker paint. And what I'm going to do is, let's start with the number 4 round. And I'm going to load it up, flatten it out a little bit, and draw those thick lines up here. Trying to keep it consistent. When you reload and restart, always go back to the beginning. And I do it curved so that it looks like a round ball, not a flat ball. That's the trick of getting it to look rounded, because if I just cut it straight across, then it would be flat again. Do the same on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Try to keep them parallel. Okay, so now we have a top and a bottom. Oh, you can even do this piece up here too if you want to. However, let me show you a trick on that. Trick on that would be, because it's such a pale piece of wood, underpaint it with antique gold.
Oh.
I know I didn't put that on the list, but take one of your yellows, maybe a deeper yellow. And if you look how close in color those two are, so when you take this and you underpaint it here, it makes it a nice base for that gold. So once that's dry, and all you need is one coat. Once that's dry, you can put the gold over it. You could do the same on that if you wanted to, but I didn't feel it necessary. Okay, now we're gonna do this thing called cross hatching. And you can use a liner brush, you can use a long liner brush, you can use a dagger striper. And I was gonna show you what that dagger striper looks like, but let's see right here, where is it? This is a dagger striper.
Oh, cool.
And you can load that up and then you draw nice long lines with that. That's what I did those angel wings with.
Oh, nice.
Have a little bit of water to dilute the paint down. And then we're going to, let me see, I'll take my chalk pencil here. And we're going to swoop from the left to the right. And then we'll swoop from the right to the left. So if you have a chalk pencil and you want to draw that in, you can do that, or we'll just wing it with the paint. So you start from the left and bring it down to the right. Start from the left, bring it down to the right. If it peters off, just go back in and come back up from the other direction. See that? I'm going to try and do it and be more consistent by adding a little bit more water and being at a 90-degree angle to my surface.
This is interesting. I can't wait to see how it's going to look.
And try and keep them parallel as best you can. I know it's hard to keep them consistent in width and keep them consistent in angle. And in distance. And these could have probably been a little finer. They could be closer together, but I didn't want to be here all night. So now I'm going to go left to right. Right to left.
You have such a steady hand. Looks so cool. So Cindy, during the past 6 weeks, I guess this is the 6th week that we've been doing this, we've talked about our favorite Christmas food, our favorite Christmas cookies, our favorite Christmas music, our favorite Christmas movies. Or holidays, not necessarily just Christmas.
Traditions, yeah.
Traditions. Did we talk about travel?
Travel.
Like, I'm always envious of those people who take a cruise or go to a tropical location, or even just a whole family goes someplace during that Christmas holiday, taking advantage of the kids' vacation or whatever. Did you ever do that?
Let's see. And my mom and I went to Florida for Walt Disney World in Busch Gardens one year, 1979 Christmas.
For Christmas?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well, in between Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
With the kids, I don't think we've ever gone anywhere. I have to say no, we've never gone away. It's always been family and
staying home. We took the kids and my mother-in-law to Disney World one year between Christmas and through New Year's. So we had our New Year's Eve there, and that was really wonderful. And we had planned that from when the kids were babies, that as soon as they were all able to walk on their own, we wanted to take them. And where the oldest one was still young enough to want to be with us.
Right.
And it was perfect. It was a wonderful vacation, but we haven't done that since then. So my brother and I have always talked about just having the whole family rent cabins up in, the mountains and do the snow trip and have a white Christmas, and, but we've never done it. So does anybody have a story about travel they want to share? Put your hand up so I know. Oh, Ophelia. Okay. Now, have you ever taken a vacation during Christmas time?
No, that's another first I'd like to do.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to take a tropical vacation or go someplace like Australia for Christmas.
I'd go even to Florida. I don't care, anywhere warmer.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it's not hot here, just to get away to something different.
Yeah.
Not cold. It's not cold here. I know yesterday it was 50, doesn't seem like cold, but I was outside for 14 hours
Oh,
in the cold for me weather. So it dipped down to about 40 before I got home. And that was pretty cold to be outside all day. But I know that I've been in sub-zero weather. So that was nothing. But at least with that, you could come in,
yeah.
in the elements all day long. I wouldn't want to be camping in 50-degree weather, but I bet it was great. So anybody else want to share? Yes, Melina.
I just stay home for Christmas.
Yeah.
I do not want to leave. It's bad enough being out there in the cold.
So true. So true. But and I like to be the home base. That's what we're going to be the first time this year, where the kids are going on their trips and coming and going, but we're going to stay home. So I think I'll be doing some cooking and probably some more painting. So, okay, well, where's Cindy? Cindy, are you still there?
Yeah, right here.
Good. Well, thank you for indulging me about traveling. If anybody has any tips or hears any stories, feel free to share them with me later.
I'm going to take my I'm going to take my number 14 or 12, whatever you have, and I'm going to take that black and side load that. Sorry. Okay. And I want to do the outside of the ball here. So start from the gold part and bring it around. And end before you get to the next piece of gold. Do the same on the bottom. So the color's on the outside edge. Now for the gold part, we're going to go into that burnt sienna like we did with the face. And I'm going to put that on the gold part. You can walk it down a little bit into that edging if you want. That's what's going to make it look rounded, even more so. If you want to separate the cross hatching from the bands, you can also go across there with this burnt sienna. You see how that, can you see how it separates the top band from the gold? Cross hatching. Okay. Coming to life, huh? Let's put a little bit of that color on the top piece. That would be burnt sienna. I'll do the edges here. Let's do a little bit here. Let's go back and add a second layer to our leaves with the leaf green. Olive green. Make sure this is dry. I'm going to add highlights to the side loads again. I know, dreaded side loads.
I actually like them now.
I'm going to go into the peak, need a little bit of water for the paint to move. I'll go into the top peaks here. Whatever ones are pointing on the upside. You know what I'm saying? So the ones that are on the top. I don't know how else to say that.
I think top side works. Pointing up.
Pointing up. You go over the line. If you go in with some water real fast, you can probably get it off. And you wouldn't have been able to do that if you didn't seal the fabric. What was the, let's see, what did I, midnight green, okay. Let me go. And if you don't have any midnight green, you just mix whatever your darkest green value you have with black, and that'll make you some green. And my neighbor dropped off a platter full of cookies yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I'm not done yet. And it's like, I looked at it and I said to my husband, we're the only two in the house. And he's brought all these cookies and fudge and brittle and homemade peanut brittle, homemade fudge, all that stuff.
Oh, just like you are.
Well, we started this, like, I don't know how many years it's been now. It's got to have been 10 years they've been living there.
That's cool.
And so, yeah. But I have so many cookies.
Must smell like a bake shop or bakery in your house.
Pretty much. My husband and son love it when I get domestic stuff. Okay. I did the side load shade of the midnight green on the bottom, the olive greens on the top, and now we're going to have to put some veins in. You can do that with your fine liner brush and the olive green, and try not to make them straight across. Try to curve them. And then put the side ones in. This is a real simplified, I can make things look like they're actual, you know, real. I can paint to look very realistic, but these are just simplified little ones. If you want to go and get a little fancy, take your gold and you can kind of outline above the highlight with the gold. Make that pop. Let's see. I'm going to go in and I'm going to make these guys a little bit more. And when your paint starts puddling over, definitely give yourself some fresh paint. Works much better when you have fresh paint. Take that and make it a little bit more round.
You don't just pop the bubble and take it from the inside.
It's not recommended.
Oh, you're so professional. I do all the cheating things. But
It depends on how much I need, what am I trying to achieve?
well, I only point it out because I think that when you take the care that you do, that it shows in your finished project, your product. It really does. Yours look impeccable. And it's because you take all those little measures that I would take shortcuts and you don't. So it's worth it. Look at that.
Okay. I'm going to try something. If it doesn't work, don't do it. But if I go beyond the outline and I just make a little bit of a difference, meaning I'm not on the leaf, I went below the leaf. Not that you can see it, but on the dark side. Just to kind of, I don't know. It might pop it might not. Okay. Dry your berries. Now, let's see, did I say, and Napa. Okay, Napa red. You can use cranberry wine too, which I had that out and I'm not sure why I left the cranberry wine out and not the Napa. But again, with the side load, or if you want to just draw a line of this color, I'm going to add it to the bottom. C-stroke motion like that, and I'm adding it into the bottom from 9 o'clock to about 5. 9 to 5.
Oh, look at pretty, pretty.
It doesn't show up too much, but for the highlight, I would go in and take some of that white and red. I mean, not that you want it too pink, but you do want it lighter value. Make sure that's dry, and then add that to the top. Again, it's like 3 to 10. And then you can take your stylus or your liner brush and you can add a little bit more white and do a little, go straight white and do a little bit of a set down to highlight that. Now, the next thing is the edges before I do detail. The edges, you either can do it with the same paint and a liner brush. You can do it with the same paint and your finger by wiping your finger in this color and then drawing it across like that. See how I did that? Okay. If you like getting dirty, I don't. Or the trick here is that you can get a Krylon gold leafing pen or a Deco Color Premium gold leafing finish. And you shake those up and you get them started. And once they're started, you can take them and go right across the edge. And it puts gold leafing on there, real easy. And if it gets over on the top part, you can go back over with black, but for the most part, it stays right where you put it. So there's the tricks of the trade there. But isn't that cool? I mean, that is so easy to do.
Yeah, that makes it really easy, and it looks really good. Gonna pop.
And they come in different metal colors. So I bought one in gold and bought one in silver, so I can go back over like with the Winter Wonderland ornament. I can do that on the edge. And if you want to, in this case, like I went over the edge. I went over the edge here. If you can see, the gold came over. Either you can spit it off, or you can go in and take your black paint and your side load of black paint and just go right back over it. No biggie. So if you want your leaves to show up more, I would go in with either the black or the burnt sienna, and you can kind of go around them and stay on your fabric. Don't go onto your holly and berries, but if you stayed on your fabric and just shaded around them, it'll show up a little bit more. Now, can you see the difference? It's starting to
Totally.
soften the color around there.
Oh yeah. And it's hard to tell with the camera on the video, but the background with the fabric is still showing through.
Yeah.
Pretty well, even though you painted a lot over it.
So if I go around this, I can go back with those gold strokes after.
What kind of fabric do you recommend for this, Cindy?
Cotton.
Just pure cotton patterns.
It depends on what your design is on top, and how big your item is. You don't want to use a big pattern, clearly, because then it would just be too much. But you can use a smaller pattern. In this case, it's more of a paisley or I've used people's curtain fabrics for those angels. So you can use a bunch of different ones, but something that's soft to the eye, that if you put your design on, you won't get lost.
That's a good tip.
I'm going to go back with the gold and put those in now that I've done the black, so they'll actually show up. So that's the one that I decided to do for this. However, these are the original ones that I had painted.
Oh,
That was the other lady's designs.
cute. Yeah, it's cute. Now I see. But does that have fabric too?
Yeah, there's fabric behind there, not that you can see it, right? And oh yeah, I wanted to finish the detail on that one, but yeah, the comma strokes, this is the same fabric we're using today.
Oh, that's cute. They remind me of some ornaments that I actually had back in the 80s that were like Victorian style.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they were actual ornaments, but they kind of had that textured and patterned look.
So let's finish by adding some little detail to the top of this guy. And like the detail on these ones had this teardrop at the top edge. And I went with the fabric right up there. So if we had done the fabric right up there, we could have done the cross hatching up there, but I had done it down here. So I would start with doing these little strokes. If you can see that.
Oh, yes. Like a little V.
Little strokes. And do it on this side. And then you can do a little sit down at the tip. And that's pulling it toward the tip. And then for the detail around it, I'm not going to go crazy with comma strokes and talk about that this time around. However, you can take your stylus or your end of your brush, and I would start in the middle by doing 1, 2, 3, if it shows up, and then go next to it, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and keep going in every time if it doesn't. So can you see that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can make them a little bigger. Until you run off the edge. And then you start on the other side. This is just a simple border design to finish off. The edge. But for every 3 dots, take a new dip.
I'm not sure if you saw some of these comments while I was away from. Elena gave a tip for, I guess, around the edges. She says she runs the paint across a Q-tip.
Yep.
That would be interesting.
Yep, you can do that too.
Yeah.
I love all these hints.
I know, and I love it when everyone shares. And so I'm gonna do this one on the replay because I really do want to do the spoon and this. And I have a lot of little wood ornament shapes that I bought that I'm gonna paint for gifts. So I'm getting so many tips from you, watching you. Anybody has tips or little best practices to share? We love to hear it. And if you think about it later, you can share it on the Paint with Heart Facebook page.
Yes.
I think I'll drop that link. Earlier, I dropped a link for your website, Cindy. If you just go to cindyharrisonart.com, you can get add your email address to be on the mailing list. Look at that. That really makes a big difference, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? And then also the surfaces to make all the ornaments in the collection are still available on Cindy's website as well. So share that link, and that would make a great gift too for somebody who likes to make art and decorative painting.
So I'm mixing a little bit of the white with the gold, and I'm just going to draw a couple lines of that right in the middle. That kind of makes it have a little bit of a highlight, but doesn't take away from the gold. You don't want it straight white. So is that cool, or is that cool?
It's pretty cool. Am I still on? Yes, I am. Good. This doesn't do it justice, but it's so pretty. Thank you. Now, does anybody else want to share theirs?
Yeah, we can go to...
Looks like Ruth is maybe painting. Oh, look at that.
So, yeah, unmute Ruth.
Okay.
There
Oops.
we go. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Okay, hold on.
Spotlight. Hold on. Spotlight Ruth.
Oh, how
That's,
pretty.
oh, I like her fabric. Look at that fabric.
All right.
It was in my stash.
Perfect.
Now pop your head over to the side a little bit. I want to
See
see
your
your
face.
face.
No, there you go. Up.
Okay.
Ornament and
I
big.
can't get, wait a minute.
No,
Let's
you
do
got
together.
it up.
There. Let's
There
do
you
together
go.
again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Gorgeous.
I love it.
Go over to
We got-
Ophelia.
Thank you.
Cindy.
Oh, look at that one.
That's beautiful. So
Very
you're gonna do
nice.
the cross hatches the other way now, right, Ophelia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It
love.
takes time.
Did you outline your berries with the gold? Because it looks really beautiful.
I think she froze.
Oh, she might have.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's beautiful.
It does
Anyone
look-
else?
Let's see. We got Ruth and Ophelia and Meleda. Did you paint?
No, I was observing.
All right. That's just fine.
Okay,
Well-
we enjoy having you here.
Oh, I'll paint them up. Trust me.
That's cool.
I
You're
do have a
welcome.
special request. This is for my wish from Santa. If anybody has finished their complete set, if they would send a picture or post it on Facebook, that would be like a gift personally for me, because I would be so excited to see that.
I already gave some away.
There's
Cindy.
some more.
Cindy.
Oh, of yours? You have to remake them.
Did you get that recipe that I sent, that I forwarded for the crack? Did you get something?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But I was telling everybody about it, that my new friend makes crack. Yeah.
Oh, crack is delicious.
I did. I forwarded it, but maybe I didn't know what I was doing. And then I finished got the holly on my happy feet.
Oh,
Cool. Let me
on
see.
happy
Hold on.
feet.
Let me spotlight you so we can see it close. Oh, look at that.
So cute.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I like your red nails too,
Oh,
Ruth.
thank you.
My
You
nails.
know what? You know what it is? I'm not really a waitress. That's the name of it.
Oh,
the
so,
name.
oh.
I
I love
it.
those. I love those colors. So yeah, I started to say that if you attend, how did we work that, Melissa? If you attend all 4 classes or something, every time you attend a class, live class, your name gets put into a hat.
Yes, that's
And on
it.
the 4th class, we will pull a name from the hat and they will win a prize.
Right.
So every month there'll be a drawing on the 4th week, and you accumulate your chances by showing up. You accumulate another chance by bringing a friend. You accumulate a chance by actually painting with us. So if you're here and you're painting and you brought a friend, you know what I mean? You start accumulating more and more points, and we will have all the details posted on the website and in the
Yes.
Facebook page.
Yes, we're going to formulate the rules and stick to them and make it all official. And you'll be rewarded for attending and participating by having a chance to win prizes. So I'm very excited about that. Cindy loves to provide the prizes, and I love to give them away.
So it's 10 minutes of, unless there's other questions, do you want to say goodnight, Gracie?
I do have a question.
Oh, okay.
When are you starting?
Hold
When
on
are
a second.
you starting?
When's our next day?
Oh,
That's a good
Ruth
question.
wants, oh, that's right. So that's a good question. New Year's Day is on a Sunday.
Mhm.
So it'll be the 8th. We'll start back up on January 8th. And that's when we'll start the process. That help?
So we have 2 weeks off.
So we have 2 weeks off because Christmas
Don't forget about us.
is on Sunday. It's been wonderful, and I really appreciate you ladies coming every week, or when you can come, and whether you paint with me or not, and you post your things on Facebook when you're done. I mean, Melissa and I our hearts are just filled with joy that we can't even express with words. It's just wonderful, and we really do appreciate it.
Yeah, it makes all the effort worth it. And it's just, it's such a pleasure to have you with us, because when we started, it was just an idea, and it was the two of us for a few episodes where we just wished that we would have some people join us. And now we have this little group, and we just love you ladies, really do. So you make next year even better. And I'm anxious to see how many different color hair we had. Because between the two of us, Cindy, I think we had at least 8 different colors in the last 6-8 months.
Yeah, we probably did. But
I think one time Cindy had 8 colors of hair in her hair.
at least 5 anyway.
Okay, I exaggerate.
Oh, and Kathy says that we love you both, or both of you. It's my dyslexia. Thank you, Kathy. I know we love you too.
That's a relief, because I'm always afraid I'm going to get kicked off.
Oh yeah.
First voted off.
So say your good nights, Gracie, and
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to Paint with Heart and to be here with me and Cindy from coast to coast. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Paint with Heart. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
so Merry Christmas to you all and all those watching on replay. And I look forward to seeing you all next year in our Paint with Heart studio. I hope that you have a wonderful, safe, healthy, warm holiday season. And if you have any questions at all, at any point in any time about anything paint related, you know where you can find me. You can find me on cindyharrisonart.com or on Facebook, Paint with Heart. So until next year, and it's like feels weird to say that, always remember to
Paint with Heart.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.